What's up, vinyl community? Cliff, the vinyl cheapskate here. It's Friday. You know what that means? Friday drinking music. Today I'm doing a roundup of 10 of my bite-sized metal albums, metal records, CDs, or metal cassettes, records. So I'm gonna do some singles, some demos, and some 12-inch singles, some 12-inch EPs, 12-inch mini albums, that kind of stuff. So I got 10 I rounded up that I wanted to talk about. This is stuff I've had for a little while. I may have shown some of these on the channel before, but I'm not sure. If I have, oh well, you guys will live. You can look at the same record more than one time, right? Anyway, let's start out with what we're listening to now. This is the Dead World, Prodigal Son Dead World demo tape. This is a demo tape that there's like a cool little story in here. This was kind of like an unknown band from the Midwest, I think. So they're from Kansas City. So small band. Was found said it was found not for 99 cents in a cassette bin next to a Trouble record, or a Trouble cassette of their self-titled album. Jeff Sheets was in it. He's best known for some instrumental shred albums. I don't know who he is, but this is a great, as you can hear, it's really good crossover thrash stuff. Just sick stuff from the late 80s, I think. When did this get released? I'm not sure when this got released originally. But a guy found it in it for 99 cents a tape bin, and then he just pressed some copies of it. I'm not sure how legit this is. I think he actually did ask permission. I think I read through this, and he actually did ask permission. So I think it's a legit release that he did. This was a guy from used to do the Heavy Metal Mixtape Exchange on Instagram. I used to do that with this guy. I still talk to him now and then. I bought some other stuff from him. But I bought a bunch of these tapes, and I sent one to Jason Skills as well. And I got a couple up top there that I'm holding for some friends of mine who I think will really enjoy it. But check this band out if you could find this stuff. I think it's on YouTube. I'll find the link if it's on YouTube. I'll post it below. But really good, crossover thrash stuff. Only 4 songs on this, so it's a legit, it's just a demo. So, but sounds really good, plays really good. It's got cool artwork. There's a picture of the band in here. It's the whole thing there, but pretty sick. Check this band out if you get a chance. And they're really pretty unknown. I never heard of them until he posted a picture of it, and I said, oh, that looks cool. And then I bought a bunch of tapes from him, and he sent me a copy of this for free, which is where I found it. So then I got in touch with him later and was like, hey, you got any more copies of that? I'll buy a couple off you so I can give them to friends. So, yeah, pretty sick. Prodigal Son, Dead World. Legit crossover thrash stuff. That's what we're listening to now. Since we started with a tape, we'll keep going with tapes. Most of my tapes are newer stuff, but I'll show the other one that's older. This was one of the tapes that I bought with this same lot that came with that. This is the Glacier Ready for Battle demo. This was a cool band. I think they put out an album in the 80s. And then just kind of disappeared. I think they only had this demo, and this is a repress of the demo. It's not an original. It's somebody repressed this demo. But this is really good, speed metal stuff. Really fun. Dual guitars, drums, bass, vocals, all that stuff. But really good heavy metal stuff. They put out a new album 2 years ago. But before that, they like disappeared, and then all of a sudden they came back and put out an album on, I think it's on No Remorse Records. This isn't on No Remorse. This is Postmortem Apocalypse. So this is, I don't know how official this is, but maybe it's official. I don't know. But sounds good, and it's cool. This only has 3 songs on it, and then there's an interview on the B-side. So I should have listened to the interview before I talked about it, but I haven't. So I've listened to the cassette, the A-side, a couple times. There's only 3 songs on there. Oh, look, Glacier. Yeah, it's probably official because they got Glacier's email and stuff on there. Pretty sick, man. Good stuff. What a cool blue tape. I don't know how well you can see the blue tape. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, you know, some of these demos and EPs and stuff, because I feel like they were a really big part of heavy metal stuff early on. I know that for bands just getting something out, like a lot of these little demos, like this one too. This is another one. It's an EP. And a lot of these newer bands are doing the same thing as the older bands used to do this, and now a lot of the newer bands are doing this too, where they put out these little bite-sized things where they're a little more than a single, but like only a few songs. This one is female-fronted band Midnight Dice, Hypnotized. This is great, really good Judas Priest worship. Very much, like, really good Judas Priest worship here. These guys are a newer band. I also think that these guys are also Midwest, I think. Where are these guys from? Chicago. I think these guys are Chicago. But really good female-fronted heavy metal, like straight-up heavy metal stuff. Legit tape. It's on a yellow tape, and that's another thing. These guys are all doing cool like yellow tapes, but they everywhere offers that now. That presses tape, so you get whatever you want. But yeah, this is another one that's numbered. It's 146 of 200. So Midnight Dice, sick band. Another one that's just like a random one. This one's got 6 songs on it, and it's on the same label, Hoove Child. This is this band Hitter. These guys are more along the lines of like an 80s hard rock kind of feel, but very good, well done. These guys, you could tell that this band really likes the music that they're playing. Like, they wear their influences on their sleeves. Definitely a little more on the hard rock end than just like straight up heavy metal, but very, very good. Hitter, another good one. Another one numbered 78 out of 100. Pretty sick. And I guess all these bands that I'm showing, besides, you know, the 2 older ones, but all these newer bands, I guess they're considered new wave of traditional heavy metal type stuff. But yeah, more stuff. That band from New York, and I really like this band. One of my favorite bands to have come out in a while. And these guys have been on our podcast a couple times. Really nice people, younger people, young guys, and young lady as a singer. But Shadowland, the Watcher EP. This is excellent. If you get a chance to pick up the Shadowland stuff, you should. Their LP is really good, but these were my first introduction, were these demo tapes. And when I heard them, I was just like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm going to be buying this. But definitely got a little bit of like a hair metal vibe in there, but not too much. And definitely like a lot of Saxon worship in here. get some Judas Priest in here. You get like early Dokken feels in here. Just really good. These guys are definitely, and I've talked to this band on the podcast, and they're definitely passionate about their music and their fantasy writing. So that's where all the fantasy artwork, and Tanya, the singer, does most of their artwork as well. And she's a really good artist. She's a tattoo artist, really good artist. But yeah, really good. And we've had Jeff on guitar on too, and he's a really nice guy too. But yeah, really cool people. Support local, support these small guys though, because they don't get enough love, I don't think. And if we don't support this stuff, it's gonna go away. And I love this new wave of traditional heavy metal stuff. These guys are ones that got signed on to No Remorse Records as well. And so did this band. And this is a band from Philly, Morgul Blade. This is a little more on the lines of... How do I want to put this? A little more on the lines of like old Bathory stuff, but not really. A lot of traditional heavy metal in here, but also like some black metal mixed in. There's synth, not on this one, but on their album. But this is really good. This is a lot rawer than their album. Like, this is not a polished demo at all. This is another one that's really rare, hard to find, because I got one of the last copies that they had, and it looks like one of the deals, like, it looks like they kind of recorded this themselves, like 18. Yeah, it got number 18 out of 50. They only made 50 of these. And they didn't get any labels printed on it or anything. They had to write on the A and B side for you. But very sick stuff, man. So, cassette culture has had kind of a resurgence a little bit, especially in metal. I feel a lot in death metal. I feel like has had a big resurgence in the tapes coming out. But yeah, there's 5 tapes for you guys to check out. And like I said, all these tapes, I'll put links I'll probably put links for most of this stuff below, just so you can check it out. Most likely Bandcamp, so that you can buy it if they still have copies. Now let's get to the older stuff. So all my older stuff, it's all LPs or mini or EPs, whatever. Mini albums, if you will. And I feel like mini albums were definitely like a big thing in the 80s, like the mini albums, EPs, and singles. I've got one single to show you, and I want to show this because this was the first heavy metal record, first old school heavy metal record I ever bought, where it was during the early days of eBay, and I ordered this and 3 other albums. Cost me $15, but that's the Iron Maiden Wasted Years single. I actually really dig this song. I like Wasted Years. It's a fun song. It's not their best song by any means. And yeah, both sides. It's only one track on both sides, off of Somewhere in Time. So this was 100% promotional. Who knows if they even paid for this. Might have came with the album, you never know. But yeah, and I feel like this was a good way for early heavy metal bands to get their stuff out. Good way for the record label to promote the bands, was put out these little really cheap things with 1 or 2 songs on it. But very good. Wasted Years. Like I said, not my favorite Iron Maiden song, but this thing is very nostalgic for me, because it's literally one of the first heavy metal albums I ever got. The other ones I got Peace of Mind, Live After Death, which is still my favorite live album ever, and Peace of Mind, Live After Death, and Number of the Beast. And I spent $15 on it, and that was with shipping. So you can't complain about that. I won that lot, and I was stoked as a young guy. I was like 18 or something like that maybe. And I was like, what is this eBay thing? We'll keep going with the Iron Maiden. Another great live EP. Made in Japan. Really sick. This is pretty recent. I just bought this not too long ago. And I have 2 copies because I found the copy for like, I found this copy and I think I spent like $12 or $15 on it. And then I found a copy for $5 online. There was some other stuff, but it was like 2 or 3 records and I spent like $12 on it. And this album was in it. So I now have 2 copies of it. But this is great Diano era Iron Maiden. Great live stuff. Really good. Just like, this is really good. Perfect like little snippet. Like if you only got like 15 minutes and you want to get pumped. Great album for that. Iron Maiden. Made in Japan. Great album. And that's another thing I feel like they did a lot in the 80s. They did a lot of those live albums where it was like live EP. I have another one too I was going to show. It's Omen Nightmares, but I showed that not too long ago. And that's got some live tracks on it too. I feel like they would do that where, like this Venom album right here. The Canadian Assault Venom album. Where they did 2 studio tracks and 3 live tracks. And it's cool to get the contrast of that. The live tracks were Die Hard, Welcome to Hell, Inomi Satanus, and the studio side was Warhead. Oh no, there's 6 songs on here. Warhead, Woman, and 7 Gates of Hell. So really good little EP. Another one that's a great one to put on if you don't have a lot of time and you just want to like rock out for like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. You're like, you're gonna get somewhere. Great record for that. Venom is one of my favorites too. Classic stuff. Canadian Assault. I want to collect more of these Assault EPs because they're really good, and they made a bunch of them. But this Canadian Assault one's really good. I really enjoyed it, and this was an OG. This was a Facebook Marketplace find recently too. This was from this year. But yeah, it's a mini LP, a little bite-size LP for y'all. Now I'm gonna get into a couple obscure ones. They're not super obscure, but they're sort of obscure. There's no private press thing or anything, but still pretty cool to have. This was one that I found at a shop where they don't really have heavy metal stuff, and this is like borderline heavy metal, but it's really good. It's fun. The Cutty Sark Hard Rock Power EP, 4 tracks on here: Hard Rock Power, Fire and Ice, The Dice, Attack. But Cutty Sark are German? Yeah, German. I think they're German heavy metal, hard rock group. Look at these guys. You can tell that they're like leftovers of the 70s a little bit. But I was really stoked to find this. I was looking through and I saw it and I was like, what, really? That's there? And it surprised me. Like, I was like legitimate, because it's a shop. This shop is huge. The shop that I went to was called CD Depot, and it's huge. It's a huge shop. They're a mess. Things are everywhere. The rock section's pretty well organized, but they just have crap. They literally have piles of records everywhere, and usually it's just like, you know, the basic stuff. They never have any like heavy hitters really, but they have like basic stuff, and sometimes it's a little overpriced. This wasn't bad. This was $15, which I'll pay for a weird heavy metal, a weird OG heavy metal record. You know what I mean? But This album's cool because it's got like I said, it's like kind of like borderlining. It's heavy metal and hard rock. It's got the sound of like new wave of British heavy metal, but it's not a British heavy metal. It's German, but very good. Cool record. If you could find this, I'd suggest checking it out. Last but not least, this was one that a friend of mine, while he was doing the podcast, suggested that I grab this. And that night I went online and I found it, and I probably paid too much, but I just found the cheapest copy I could find on Discogs. And it's in good shape. They're a Metal Blade band, and that's this Witch Killer EP, Day of the Saxons. This is a fucking stomper right here. Day of the Saxons, Rider of Doom, Cry Wolf, Beg for Mercy, Penance for Sins. And this is a perfect example of like never overstaying its welcome. It's like the perfect length for what you want for this kind of stuff. And it's short, sweet, and to the point. Very much all killer, no filler on here. But check this band out if you get a chance. Came with the insert. Just look at the band, man. Can't tell me that band doesn't look like fucking rules. Lyrics on the backside. You don't need to see that. Like I said, it's on Metal Blade. The Metal Blade axe. And yeah, this was a good one. 1984. I was stoked to get this. Really, really good stuff. But anyway, that's what I got. Bunch of bite-sized metal albums, EPs, singles, demos, all that fun stuff. Just wanted to do something a little different than just my normal vinyl find stuff. This is stuff that's in my channel. It's on, I'm pretty sure, most of this stuff I've gotten over the last like 2 years since I've been doing videos. So most of the stuff's probably in other videos. But a little recap of some cool heavy metal singles and stuff that I picked up over the last couple years. Anyway, that's it. And also, this will now be my Friday basement cleaning soundtrack because I need to clean my basement because my brother's coming over tomorrow. Anyway, everybody have a good weekend. Watch Grown Man Record Night because it's fun. My buddies Ryan and the kid having a stream tomorrow. My brother's coming over tomorrow, guys. I'm probably going to miss it. Sorry. But family's coming over, so I got family stuff going on. But anyway, cheers to the vinyl community. Cheers to anybody new that's out there that's just watching the videos. And check out all the links below if you want to check out some cool, short, heavy metal. It won't take long. All these are really short albums. So, cheers.